Hey everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood doc here. Wanted to talk to you about Vatican City Issue 3, which is part 3 of 3. This is Mark Miller writing and Berg as the artist. This series finished with a bang. I can honestly say that. It was absolutely amazing. I know a lot of people said they didn't like the artwork, and I do say that there was a little bit to be desired from the artwork. It was a lot scratchier in places than I thought it should be. It did have that Ben Templesmith look to it, but overall, it was good storytelling. It may not have been the most detailed Todd McFarlane-esque story that super clear story that you've ever read, but it got the job done. And the story itself by Mark Millar, just it was like you could blow through those 3 issues like nobody's business. It was just like, going through a bottle of water after you've been outside cutting grass all day long. You just flip through it and it moved extremely quickly, but it also moved at a methodical pace. You could see the beats that were coming, and you could see that it looked hopeless. It looked like they were never going to get out of there. They had gotten the queen of the vampires. They had her body in the end of the last issue, but it looked like they were never going to escape these vampires. They had taken over Europe. And what do you do when you're trapped in Vatican City and you only have enough food and rations for a set amount of time? How do you go about going out there and finding your own way? How do you make everybody safe? How do you kill so many vampires that it's crazy? It's like a thriller video. Well, they got down on their knees and they prayed. And I'm not going to tell what happened at the end of this story, but I'll say that some survived, some did not. I will also say that I really wish that Mark would have taken his time with this a little bit more. I've noticed a lot of these books that he's been doing 3 and 4 issue minis just move at a breakneck pace. And I think that if he took a little bit more time and developed these characters out and developed these worlds out, I think it would be even better. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad at all. I thoroughly enjoyed this story. I really did, and I'm going to miss these characters. But I would have loved to have seen them around for 5 or 6 or 7 issues instead of just 3. And maybe he is, to an extent, writing for the TV show. Maybe he's just bare bonesing it out there to say this is the basis of something that could be so much greater. Okay, and I know he's not 25 anymore, but you still have plenty of time to go out there and get your ideas and make them fleshed out, because that's what you really want to do, is you want to flesh these ideas out and make them something greater than what they are. And I think he's just throwing the bones of things out, like I said, and hoping that someone comes and builds a house on the foundation that he's laid. And if you have a terminal illness, if you think that you don't have very long to live, it's one thing to go out there and build as much foundation and build as many bones as you can. But when you're relatively in as good a spot as he is, if you've got Miller World, which has been sold to Netflix, if you've got all of these irons in the fire, then take your time. Don't rush through everything. That's what I'm trying to learn as a writer, is I'll get to a certain point in the story and I just want to be done with it. It's not that I don't enjoy it. It's just that I don't want to drag it out so far that it's no longer enjoyable to anyone else either. I don't want it to be that way. And I'm having to learn that lesson as a writer, to say it's easy to take that quick route sometimes, but that's not always the best way to go. A lot of times, if you stick it out, then readers will stick it out with you. So anyway, I don't want to leave on a bad note. I wanted to say this was an excellent book, and I cannot wait to see what else Miller comes up with next, whether it's with Berg or somebody else. But I really hope that maybe we can see this on the small screen one day, and it will be more fleshed out, and you can get maybe not 12 seasons like The Walking Dead did, but maybe you can get 4 or 5 seasons out of it and go from there, because I think it's totally, totally worth that much time and that much effort. But thanks for joining me, guys. I've got an interesting video coming up here in a little bit that I'm going to talk about the books I'm going to keep on my pull list and the ones I'm dropping and why. So look for that to come this weekend as well. Take care, guys, and we'll catch you later.